Okay. So it's funny because you're talking about people, and it's this week I received few phone calls, and we always learn, from discussing with people, and we need to learn to listen, which is not easy, because listening is not listening what somebody is telling us, or listening means what is the message that is in whatever I'm hearing. This is what means to listen. Okay. Most of us, we just hearing something, and we don't get anything, and we cannot even use anything. So it's like sterile. It's like there is. That's why we feel most of the time not too much energy when we meet people. It's important to understand that. You want to feel energy, when you exchange. When you talk with somebody, there's an exchange of energy. So why we should always be full of energy, because I'm giving and I'm receiving, right? What does it mean? I'm giving, I'm receiving. It means that it's not that I'm hearing something and I'm receiving. Yes, there is a noise, there is a frequency, but there is mostly, the message. The message is what the person wants to say. Most of the time, if you pay attention, even the person don't know what he's telling you. Don't know the real message that is inside the conversation. Everybody got that. That's important. This is how we should have a relationship. But we just take, the first degree most of the time, and we just kill the messenger, right? So here, this week was a very interesting thing, and I would like to cover that aspect in a few. Is talking with somebody in Israel, and that person was telling me that that person, was telling her, Kabbalah, it's mostly only words, only, and and I was hearing that, and it's interesting. First of all, it's interesting that I heard that, and now it's nice that you all hearing also now. So, so there is a reason, but and after that, I said, okay, what is this? And in reality, what I understood is that, and we need to be very careful. I know that most of the time I'm repeating it, and I think I will repeat again. Maybe I will go a bit deeper in order to understand that. Kabbalah is not words, far away of being words or knowledge. Okay, if this is what we think it is, better to go to see a movie, or to go to a restaurant, because it's not at all that. It's not at all, to get some specific knowledge and to say, oh, I know that now I'm smarter than I was 1 hour ago, or whatever it is. Not at all. If this is the case, or maybe, if it's me that I said that, I did it the wrong way, okay? Or maybe the person received it not the way it should be, because it's again energy, okay? It's again energy. Sure, there are words, sure, there are concepts, sure, there is something, but it's not what I want it's not what I want to receive, okay? It's not what I want to receive. And the Torah is far away the same. And unfortunately, after that, so I went very far into the understanding of that. This is the main issue in most of the synagogues, okay? People are going and they're receiving, an explanation or a commentary about a portion of the Torah, and they're getting the words, they're getting at the first degree, and they just didn't get anything from it. That's why they're going out empty, okay? They're going out the same way like they came in. So we need to be very careful. It's not words, far away from that. It's not knowledge, because if it's knowledge, your intellect will catch it, and it's finished, it's gone, okay? And the ego will catch it. This is worst. Because when the ego catch, because the ego is here, thousands of aspects that ego, and he is waiting that you feed it. Okay, he's waiting to be fed. He's getting the energy from me, not from anything else. Okay, so if I think it's again intellect, I'm wrong. I would like to talk about miracles. And something that I study, and I study the Shabbat, something very, very, very special from the Ari, and he's talking about miracles, and he says for him a miracle is not a miracle. At least it's not the way that we think it is. So what is a miracle for us? Well, for us, most of the time, for most of the people, is something that is cannot explain. It's coming from well, everybody will have his own way to describe it. It's something that it's special. It's a extra situation, right? Unexpected. And he's talking about, about all the different upper realities. So there are a lot of we are stuck in one reality, which is this physical reality. This is where all of us, we are stuck. Sometimes we have some moments of that we are going above it, but most of us, we are here. We want to eat. I need to eat, right? Who can stop eating? Nobody. So we are stuck into the physicality of wanting to eat, because our desires, this is how they operate. So he says he's talking about all those realities that are above this physicality, that we cannot grasp like that. We can sometimes feel something, that there is something different. When we eventually see or experience a miracle, right? It looks to be something above that reality, right? And he's saying that this is from those upper realities. From those upper realities. This is from where, there is this supernal power that manifests, and it creates what we call a miracle. Okay? Called Nisim, miracles. So we believe it's something, a miracle that is something that is happening like that, from nowhere, at the moment, so there are all kinds. Everybody will have his own miracles. Sometimes people experience once a day, few a day, once in lifetime. Okay, and we can see news. Like people, like in the earthquake in Mexico. There are people that were under the thing for a few days, and they were living. They were like some people that went out. Like nothing happened. They just had some bruises and whatever. How we call that? A miracle, right? There are people, we can see, for example, a woman, that she was in the street. She saw her child under a car, and she went in the car, and suddenly she got the extra power to leave the car. Right. How is it possible? Right? When she put down the car back and she released the kid, she tried to move the car. It's impossible. Okay, so something happened at that moment, no? And so what happened? It's coming from this supernal, higher realities. So now he says something very interesting. That he says we all can only experience miracles in our lives. It means that we should every day, every second, be in a reality where we experience only miracles. Can you imagine? This is amazing. It means that I can lift the cars, I can lift the trucks, I can... This is not about lifting trucks, huh? But it means that we can be in a different type of reality. But we are still stuck here. I'm still stuck. I want to eat, I eat. I want, so there's something that is pushing me, to get grounded, right? So he continues, and he says those extra things, in reality they are normal. Because there is nothing extra. Okay, so he's talking maybe about himself, right? Okay, we can say that he's a special guy. He was a special soul, for sure he was, and he is because he's still alive, but he's talking about us, all of us, not only about him. Okay, so there is something that we need to work here. Okay, because if this is available, and we just don't do any effort to tap into it, I mean, there's something wrong with us. No? So what's the issue? The issue is maybe we don't believe it in reality. So he says the following, and this is very interesting now. We need to have a special consciousness. Our consciousness must be a consciousness to create miracles. You see? And not to just being controlled by nature, and time to time, to be even controlled by a miracle. To just, miracle, right? I can pay my rent, or my mortgage, or this and that. This is how we act. In fact, we react to the situation instead of having the consciousness of being able to create them. It's a huge difference. But it's not too far. Okay? It's just something that we need to switch. Okay? And to think in a different way. Okay? So we are not here to react to an effect, whatever it is. Even if we qualify it like a miracle, right? We need to be able to be always in a state of being the creator of those miracles. It means to always be in a level of that our consciousness is in the upper realities. Now the beauty is that our consciousness is always there. Always. It's us that don't let that consciousness to make things manifest in this world. You see the difference? Yes. Now it's not words. Because if we understand that correctly, maybe we'll not be 100% of the time in that frame, but we can be maybe more than before. Maybe tomorrow 10 minutes. The day after 15 minutes, and so and so. It depends about the effort of our effort to always be focused and to have that consciousness to be able to create them. So he says now what is important is our reality outside. Okay, looks like there is something outside, right? Our reality outside can only change according to what our mind allows. So you see how consciousness is important. Because if my consciousness is with anger or with whatever, negativity, evil or whatever, or jealousy, judgmental or whatever it is, that will be what my mind will allow to make happen.
Could you say that again? Could you say that?
Wrong.
Yeah. Could you just say that a little slower?
Our reality outside can only change according to what our mind allows. So it's about, what does it mean? It means that it's a must to elevate our consciousness to a level. Now, listen carefully here, because there is not much that we need to do here. It's just to really understand and integrate that. Okay? Because my consciousness is always there. It's always in the upper realities. My consciousness, your consciousness, is not in this reality. Never. Here it's already a manifestation of the level of my consciousness. Stuff, huh?
It's just hard, but we sometimes we think really nasty things, so our mind can't be there. Then it has to be in the lower
Wait,
level.
you think nasty things?
No, but,
Not me, I'm saying.
no, but who tells you it's your thoughts? Who tells you it's your thoughts?
Because if they're impure, that's
Your
the
thoughts
mind.
are always pure. Your mind is corrupting them. Okay? So in fact,
See, I
what
put mind and thoughts
at
on
the
the
moment that you listen carefully to this, because the thoughts, okay, is not what we think. A thought, it's impossible for us to even remember them. If you remember them, it means you already corrupted. You already corrupted a thought. It means it's out from your ego mind.
So, but we
You
didn't
understand?
know.
A thought, it's 100% coming from the light. Okay? You, me, in a level of a body with our ego, it's impossible to remember a thought. If I remember a thought, it means it has been corrupted. Got it? That's why, when it says we need to be tam, what means to be tam? Okay? It's to not think. You just do. Okay? It means that you are 100% in alignment with the Creator that is sending you, that is using me, using you, okay, to reveal His light. What is revealing His light? Means your thoughts. Okay? At the moment, and that remember, at the moment that you remember a thought, it's already corrupted.
Whoa.
Right? Because then your ego machine is already in the business. Right? That's interesting. I know it's deep, it's not easy to understand that, but that's the way it goes. So that's why, when somebody says, I don't remember, that's the best situation. I had a thought, but I don't remember. Perfect. Understand?
It drives me crazy.
Yeah? Okay. So, our reality outside can only change according to what our mind allows. It means what? It means if my consciousness is always in the upper realities, how should be my mind? How should be how should I see the outside myself? Full of light, full of miracles. This is the best case scenario. Okay? That's why sometimes people, they can see few miracles during the day. Some people, they don't see never. Okay? Or they call that coincidence, right? So they're even killing, okay, the message that the Creator wants to send them. Because the Creator is amazing with all of us. Even I don't know if we can say the worst, but the one that does all kind of mistakes, He still will send them miracles in order to wake him up. Right? Okay. So if we want a miracle, this extra thing to happen in my life, in our life, I have to really believe it that they can happen. That's number one. Looks to be easy. It's not so easy. Because if I don't believe, then it simply never can happen. It cannot happen if I don't believe. So you see, it's simple. Or I believe that I want miracle in my life. I can be the one that creates those miracles because I have all capabilities to, right? The thing happens. Okay? Now, in this parasha, Vayera, that says the Shabbat, there are a lot of things in it. There you have the Akedat Yitzchak. I hope we will have time to talk about a few of this. There is Sarah and Abraham, and they all have around 100 years old, 100 years about, and things. Sarah, she was not able to be pregnant, right? And at this age, suddenly an angel comes and he says, Sarah, next year, same time, you have a boy. Two different reactions. One from Abraham, one from Sarah. Okay? Because both were there. The reaction of Abraham, he immediately, without thinking, he accepted that. Not like a miracle, like it's normal. Right? He was waiting for that angel. And now you have the second reaction is from Sarah. What did Sarah? She laughed. Now about this reaction, there are so much commentaries that you can here have all kind of explanations. But there is one very interesting that the Zohar gives. He says the following. He says that in reality, why did she laugh? It's a big question. An angel comes to, I'm Sarah, an angel comes to me, I'm 100 years old, cannot be pregnant, we tried everything, right, whatever it is, and angel comes and says, no worry, next year you are.
She didn't recognize that he was an angel.
She didn't
recognize he was an angel.
She did.
She did.
She knew
She
everything.
knew even more than
Because of joy.
She couldn't believe that it was possible.
Mm-hmm.
Why did she laugh? Laughing was only a reaction of the body. At the moment that the angel came and told her that, the angel sent her, at the same moment, sent her an energy of transformation. And it was a reaction. You remember? I don't know if we. I remember we shared that story about this beggar that has this old house, no food anymore, nothing, and he was miserable. He wanted to even kill himself because he said, "Why to live for no reason and this and that." He was walking, to go and to do that mistake, whatever it is. And suddenly, that angel comes and he says, hey, go back. Under your stove, there is a treasure. Mm-hmm. Suddenly, when he heard about that, miracle, the same like Sarah, what Sarah heard from the thing. She heard about something, what happens? He suddenly became happy, but he still didn't had more food to eat at that moment. He still was starving. So the same thing happened here. And this is a big lesson. I don't know if everybody understood here the lesson. I hope so. If I know that I can create miracles, at any given moment, only with my consciousness, right? It means, we are human, we all do mistakes, and we are here to do mistakes. This is the way that we will grow, right? But if I know that I can do miracles, you know what? And suddenly, I say, okay, fine, this issue here in my life, and whatever it is, in relationship or whatever it is, and suddenly, this voice comes and say, hey, it's here. What you doing? What you waiting for? How you feel?
The consciousness.
The same thing. Suddenly your body receive a boost of energy, a boost of things. It's finished. It means that at that moment the transformation did happen. At that precise moment. You understand? It's not. This is higher level than the miracle that eventually that person will experience when he will see the treasure, when he will dig under his stove. It means that for Sarah, it was the highest moment, even higher than when she will be really pregnant and have the baby. Yes?
Yes.
This is the big lesson. And we need, that's why we need absolutely to understand the messages, how they are sent to us, how all the thing operates. Okay? And this is the big thing. So her body suddenly was transformed. Her body was rejuvenated, was able, to get a pregnancy now in that body that was not able to have any children. Everything shifted in a split of a second. Okay? And this is the real miracle at that precise moment. Okay? The miracle is not, it's already an effect. It's not when she became pregnant or when she delivered, a baby called Yitzhak. Big difference. Because this, all of us, hundreds of times per day, we experience that. But we're killing that moment. We're killing it. So miracles cannot happen. Time to time, I found $20. Right? So miracles cannot happen. You cannot experience them. But they're here 10 times, 100 times per day to all of us. Okay.
Question?
Yeah.
So what exactly does it mean when you spot a miracle? That means it's just more light, a bigger dosage? What does it mean?
No, it's an awakening from the Creator. He said, hey.
Wake up and?
And when? And do everybody follow that we just talk here? You know what? This is a key understanding here. Okay? The last 10 minutes are what we say. Because if we really, really internalize that in our lives, I promise you, you will see the thing change. Can we have 100% all the time to win? No. But even 10%, you will see how your life will change. You will see how your consciousness will rise and elevate. Okay? Because all this is to help us to elevate us, to put us in a frame where in reality we are already there. But all these things that we create, the not trusting, all kind of things that we have doubts and all this kind of thing. It's creating some veils, okay? That at the end, we don't know where we are. Where's my consciousness? My consciousness is really, like some people say. Today I was talking with somebody. He has issue with Parnassa, and 1 year ago I told him, listen, pray. So life for him somehow became better. And instead, Parnassa don't come, so I stopped to pray. I said, why you stop to pray? He said, because I want to show to God, that I'm not happy. You know what? And I'm not putting tefillin to show him that I'm not happy. I said, listen, okay. You think he's not happy? You think really he cares about that? You should care. You should care about it. It's for you. It's not for anybody else. This is how we, and in reality, it's everything for us. Only what we do, it's for ourselves. You don't want to put tefillin, don't want to put tefillin. Don't put tefillin. But don't go into a system that, that doesn't make it. Okay, it's already, whatever. Okay.
Thank you.
Now, so the point is, he says to Ari, he says, often we ask for things we don't believe we really can achieve. That's interesting. So I'm repeating, often we ask for things we don't believe we really can achieve. What does it mean? And this person, I'm hearing that a lot. No parnassa, no boyfriend, no girlfriend, no this, no that, no work and this. And people say, I'm praying and this and that. I say, and you know what? So sometimes I'm saying it and sometimes I'm not, because I don't know how people are taking it really. And I said, you really believe what you're looking for? Okay, because if you really believe it's happening, okay, don't say, you know what, I will pray because, I want a miracle to happen, to find my boyfriend in the Publix tomorrow morning, okay? Do you believe in that really? Because if you really believe in it, yes, tomorrow morning at 8:30 you will find it. You understand? But don't, okay? And we are like that, right? This is what the guy wants to say. We need to be careful about this, okay? Because often we ask for things we don't believe we really can achieve. That's very human, looks like, huh? But we're here to change that. Because again, if I can create miracles and my consciousness is all about that, I need to do an effort. It means that I have something, that if you want to push it, it's like you have something and you're creating, you fraud. It's a fraud even, you have it and you don't use it, right? So what he wants to say says we don't create a true vessel for receiving it. It means if I don't believe really that I can receive, it means that I don't create the right vessel, the right key in order for me to receive.
Blocking yourself.
All right. So he says this is something that we need, it's urgent to rearrange all this in our consciousness, okay? And to really, start to believe, that miracles, it's all about us, not about the Creator. The Creator wants always that you experience miracles. He wants always. But it's only about us to make them possible to materialize, which is a big difference. Okay? It's not God don't want, or it's God doing it. He always do, for sure. He's the Creator. Okay? But everything is set up for us in a certain way. So to finish on that, he says, in truth, we all have a tremendous power to be in those upper worlds that he calls the upper worlds. There are a few of them. To say like that, I want to be in an upper world, doesn't work again. It's my consciousness. Okay? Because whatever I say, whatever I do, I'm still in physicality. So then, he says we can receive all the energy that we need in order to fulfill our purpose in life. Because we all have a purpose in life. We all have a reason why we're coming here. We just don't come here to make a living, to buy a house, to sell a house, to buy a car, to sell a car, to marry, to divorce, to have children, to have sex, to eat. This is how we all think life is. And in between sometimes, I will share a bit and I will make some money. Okay? I will do some tzedakah, some maaser, because I want to show I'm a good guy, right? This is how we see. This is not the purpose of life. Right? Not at all. So he says only with